It begins with a decision that seems harmless, skipping dinner for one night. You tell yourself it's no big deal, maybe even healthy. But inside, your body instantly notices. From the moment you skip that evening meal, a silent signal spreads through your bloodstream. The usual calories aren't coming. The organs, hormones, and enzymes that have moved in rhythm with your mealtime habits start recalculating. While your conscious mind feels in control, your biology is quietly switching into a state of alert curiosity, the ancient human survival mode. As the night deepens, hunger begins to whisper. It's a mixture of sensation and memory, the craving for food, yes, but also the comfort of ritual. Your stomach contracts, your brain reminds you of flavors, and dopamine, the molecule of reward, starts to dip. You're not just fighting hunger, you're facing a psychological ghost built from years of repetition. Still, as you resist, your body activates backup systems designed for scarcity. Evolution crafted humans not to collapse without dinner, but to grow sharper, faster, and more focused in its absence. Around midnight, insulin levels drop slightly, prompting your body to draw on glycogen, the short-term energy stored in your liver. Once that begins, your metabolism subtly shifts from storing energy to releasing it. It's the start of what scientists call metabolic flexibility, the body's ability to adapt to changing fuel sources. You may feel a bit restless or cold, but beneath that discomfort, your cells are lighting a new fire. Meanwhile, your liver steps in as a quiet hero. It starts breaking down glycogen into glucose to maintain your blood sugar levels. This is your internal battery at work, a system perfected over millennia. And when glycogen begins to run low, your body doesn't panic. It gets smarter. It gently nudges fat cells to release fatty acids, the next available energy source. In this shift, something beautiful happens. Your metabolism starts to remember its original purpose, to be flexible, not dependent. Psychologically, though, the challenge deepens. You might feel irritable or slightly anxious. Your brain craves the routine comfort of that nightly meal. Yet beneath the surface, growth hormone begins to rise, protecting muscle tissue, stimulating repair, and encouraging fat burning. Scientists have documented up to a 5-fold increase in this hormone during fasting periods. It's your body's way of saying, let's strengthen, not weaken. By the end of day 2, your system has learned something powerful. Hunger doesn't always mean harm. Sometimes it's the language of transformation. By the 3rd day, something interesting happens. The physical hunger starts to blur with psychological craving. You begin to wonder, am I truly hungry or just conditioned to eat? Neuroscience reveals that much of what we call hunger is actually a learned response to timing, not necessity. Your dopamine circuits, the ones that fire during your favorite meal, are temporarily quiet, making you feel as if something important is missing from your evening. But if you stay strong, your body begins unlocking its next adaptation, the production of ketones. These are molecules made from fat released when glucose runs low. At first, you might feel lightheaded or sluggish, but within hours, those ketones start feeding your brain with a cleaner, steadier energy. Unlike sugar, ketones burn without creating oxidative waste, meaning less inflammation and sharper mental clarity. It's no coincidence that many people report feeling more focused during fasts. Your mood, surprisingly, may lift. Without heavy digestion before sleep, your parasympathetic system, the rest and repair mode, works more efficiently. Deep down, your cells are experiencing many cleanups, clearing out damaged proteins and restoring energy pathways. This is biology turning challenge into renewal. So, day 3 isn't about denying yourself food. It's about breaking free from the illusion that constant eating equals survival. You're no longer running on habit, you're running on evolution. On the 4th day, your brain makes one of its most profound shifts. As glucose availability drops further, autophagy, a cellular self-cleaning process, ramps up dramatically. Your body begins dismantling and recycling damaged cells, creating room for new, stronger ones. This mechanism, once unknown to science, won the Nobel Prize in 2016 for its link to longevity and disease prevention. In short, your body starts healing itself from the inside.
At this stage, your brain operates partly on ketones,
producing a kind of focused calm. Many people describe it as mental clarity. Thoughts become sharper, distractions fade, and emotions stabilize. This isn't a placebo effect. Studies show that ketones provide a more stable energy supply to neurons than glucose. It's as if your brain switches from a flickering candle to a steady flame. Meanwhile, inflammation continues to drop. Insulin remains low, which prevents spikes that can trigger fatigue and mood swings. Your digestive system rests longer, freeing up energy for repair processes throughout the body. Skin cells renew faster, oxidative stress decreases, and even your immune system recalibrates, growing more efficient. The hunger is still there, but it's quieter now, almost respectful. What once felt like deprivation now feels like awakening. Your body isn't asking for food anymore, it's thanking you for the break. By the 5th day, your internal systems start finding balance in this new rhythm. Your metabolism, initially shocked by the missing meal, now adapts gracefully. The enzymes responsible for fat metabolism, like lipase, ramp up production. Your body becomes a master at tapping into stored fat, converting it efficiently into fuel. You're no longer running on reserves. You've built a sustainable, self-sufficient rhythm. Your digestive organs, especially the pancreas and liver, are experiencing something rare in modern life: rest. With less insulin needed and fewer digestive demands, these organs shift energy toward repair and detoxification. The result is often visible: reduced bloating, clearer skin, and a surprising steadiness in energy levels. Inflammation markers, such as C-reactive protein, CRP, begin to drop, signaling a quieter, cleaner internal environment. Your sleep also begins to change. Without a late meal raising body temperature and digestion energy, melatonin flows more freely. You fall asleep faster and wake up lighter, not just in body, but in mind. Even your circadian rhythm realigns, syncing with natural light and darkness more effectively. Your body is rediscovering its ancient blueprint. 5 days in, it's no longer a battle between willpower and hunger. It's a dialogue between mind and body, one that ends with understanding, not resistance. You're not starving, you're evolving. Before we move on, if this journey is surprising you, imagine what's still to come. Subscribe now so you don't miss the rest of this scientific experiment and the hidden effects your body hasn't revealed yet. By the 6th night, something curious happens. You fall asleep faster, but you wake up earlier and more alert. Your body is recalibrating its internal rhythm, guided by hormones like melatonin and cortisol. Without that late-night insulin spike from dinner, melatonin begins its rise naturally, and your sleep cycles deepen. You're not tossing and turning anymore, you're dropping into restorative phases of sleep faster, letting your cells repair and your brain clear metabolic waste through the glymphatic system. In the daylight, your energy feels steadier. No post-dinner sluggishness, no sugar crashes. The balance between insulin and glucagon, 2 opposing hormones, becomes smoother, keeping your blood sugar remarkably stable. The body, in its quiet intelligence, has learned to manage energy with precision. By the 6th day, skipping dinner no longer feels like deprivation. It feels like alignment. Your biology, for the first time in years, is syncing with the ancient rhythm it was designed for: eat during light, rest in darkness. 1 week in, and the experiment no longer feels like an experiment. It's becoming a lifestyle. Your body has entered what scientists call a metabolic adaptation state, where fat becomes your dominant fuel source and energy feels clean, calm, and constant. You may even notice that hunger pangs have vanished altogether. That's because ghrelin, your hunger hormone, has finally stabilized to this new routine. Internally, something fascinating is unfolding. Mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside your cells, are multiplying. Studies show that intermittent fasting encourages mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning your cells literally produce more energy engines. More mitochondria equal better endurance, sharper focus, and slower cellular aging. It's as if every part of you is quietly upgrading. By the end of week 1, your body isn't fighting against the change anymore. It's cooperating. You're not starving your system, you're teaching it how to thrive on less and live more efficiently. By the 8th day, insulin has reached its lowest and most stable point. In most modern diets, insulin levels remain chronically high, trapping the body in fat storage mode. But now, with dinners gone, insulin has dropped enough to unlock the next stage of transformation, metabolic healing. The cells become more sensitive to insulin, meaning the same small amount now works far more efficiently. Your blood sugar no longer spikes and crashes, it flows like a calm river. In this state, your body shifts into what's called lipolysis, the active breakdown of fat for energy. Fatty acids from adipose tissue are converted into ketones in the liver, fueling the brain and muscles more efficiently than glucose. Studies from Harvard and the National Institutes of Health show that even short fasting windows improve insulin sensitivity and reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes. This hormonal balance also influences your appetite. Leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, starts functioning properly again. You begin eating out of necessity, not habit. The endless cravings, the mindless snacking fade into silence. Food becomes fuel, not entertainment. Ironically, by depriving your body for part of the day, you've restored its natural abundance. Your metabolism is no longer a hostage of modern habits, it's free. Fat, once seen as the enemy, is now your greatest ally. By the 9th day, the stored energy you've carried for years begins telling its story. Each gram of fat broken down represents energy you once consumed but never used. Now, through the quiet rhythm of skipped dinners, your body is finally spending it. It's not just about weight, it's about liberation from metabolic clutter. Underneath, hormonal harmony unfolds. Adiponectin, a protein released by fat cells, rises significantly during fasting. This molecule improves insulin sensitivity and encourages your body to burn fat even more efficiently. Think of it as your metabolism cheering for you, rewarding discipline with deeper efficiency. By day 9, you realize something deeper. Fat isn't the villain. It was always energy in waiting, now finally being used for what it was meant for. By the 10th day, the transformations reach your gut, the hidden command center of your health. Every skipped dinner gives your gut microbiome extra hours to rest, heal, and rebuild. The colonies of bacteria in your intestines finally have time to balance themselves, repairing the lining of your gut wall and reducing inflammation that modern diets often cause. Scientists call this extended rest period the fasting mimicking phase, where your gut becomes a silent laboratory of renewal. Digestive enzymes become more efficient, nutrient absorption improves, and even your immune system, 70% of which lives in the gut, becomes sharper. You might feel it through reduced bloating, smoother digestion, or an almost strange sense of calm in your abdomen. These are signs that your microbiota are thriving again, producing short-chain fatty acids that nourish your colon and support brain function. By the 10th day, you've crossed a threshold. This is no longer about skipping dinner. It's about resetting your most ancient systems, one quiet night at a time. By the 11th day, something subtle yet profound begins to unfold. The fog that once dulled your mornings has lifted, replaced by an almost serene clarity. It's not caffeine, it's chemistry. Your brain is running on ketones, which burn cleaner and more efficiently than glucose. These molecules reduce oxidative stress and boost the production of BDNF, a protein that encourages the growth and repair of neurons. Your mind feels lighter because, in a very real sense, it is being renewed. You may find yourself more focused, more present. Tasks that once felt tedious now flow with ease. This isn't just mental, it's biological optimization. With inflammation at its lowest, neural pathways communicate more efficiently. And your neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, GABA, harmonize naturally. Even your mood stabilizes as the balance between the gut and the brain continues to strengthen. There's a growing sense of emotional distance from food, not in a detached way, but in a peaceful one. The grip of cravings loosens, and the satisfaction from smaller, cleaner meals deepens. Your relationship with hunger changes entirely. It becomes a conversation, not a command. You start to see how often eating is emotional, not physical. By the end of day 11, your mind feels like an open window, calm, bright, and steady. You're not running on willpower anymore. You're running on clarity. On the 12th day, a subtle challenge appears, one that many overlook. With all this clarity and lightness, you might forget that your body still needs adequate nutrition. Skipping dinner doesn't mean skipping nutrients, and this is where balance becomes vital. If your other meals lack sufficient electrolytes, protein, and micronutrients, fatigue may creep in. The body, despite its efficiency, still demands raw materials for repair. Scientifically, prolonged fasting or chronic undereating can lower thyroid hormone, T3 levels, and affect metabolism. Some people may experience mild drops in body temperature or occasional dizziness, signals that it's time to listen carefully to your system. Skipping dinner for 2 weeks isn't dangerous for most healthy adults, but the secret lies in how you eat during the day. Hydration becomes critical. As insulin remains low, the kidneys excrete more sodium and water, a process that can lead to dehydration if not countered. This is why many fasting experts recommend mineral water or adding a pinch of sea salt to water during long fasts. It's not punishment, it's science, precision that keeps balance intact. By day 12, awareness becomes as important as discipline. You've learned control, now it's time to master equilibrium. By the 13th day, the changes go beyond what you can see in the mirror. Yes, perhaps you've shed a few pounds, your face looks leaner, your eyes clearer, but that's just the surface. Beneath it, cellular rejuvenation continues at full force. Autophagy is still cleaning debris, mitochondria are multiplying, and even your DNA repair enzymes, particularly sirtuins, are more active. You are literally younger at the molecular level than you were 2 weeks ago. You may notice an unexpected calm in your body. Movements feel smoother, joints ache less, your energy has an even flow. This isn't coincidence. Studies show that reduced inflammation from fasting can ease chronic pain and improve mobility. Meanwhile, your immune system, newly reset, works more efficiently against viruses and bacteria, conserving resources for real threats instead of constant low-grade inflammation. Psychologically, something powerful takes hold: trust. You start trusting your body again, not as an opponent, but a partner. You've seen how it adapts, how it heals, how it doesn't need constant feeding to stay alive. It's humbling, even spiritual. You've proven to yourself that hunger doesn't mean weakness, it means awareness. Day 13 isn't about weight loss or aesthetics anymore. It's about connection between mind, body, and the ancient intelligence within every cell. If you're fascinated by how your body adapts during fasting, you'll love our deep dive into the brain's reaction when you quit sugar for 30 days. Watch now. What happens to your brain if you quit sugar for 30 days? It will completely change the way you see your cravings. 2 weeks have passed. You've skipped dinner for 14 nights, a small act that reshaped your biology, your rhythm, and your mindset. Science confirms what you've just lived. Short-term nightly fasting can lower insulin, improve metabolic flexibility, enhance brain function, and reduce inflammation. It's not magic, it's the body remembering how it was designed to function in cycles of feast and rest. But science also reminds us, balance is key. What heals in moderation can harm in excess. Your metabolism is now sharper, your hormones more synchronized, your energy cleaner. But the real victory is awareness. You've learned to listen to your hunger, to understand that eating less often can mean living more fully. You've tasted control, not the rigid kind, but the liberating kind that comes from knowing your body's language. This journey isn't meant to be permanent fasting. It's a reset, a reminder of your innate adaptability. Many researchers now explore how time-restricted eating, like skipping dinner, can prevent metabolic diseases, improve sleep, and even support longevity. The evidence grows each year, reinforcing what your body already knows. Simplicity heals. So as you take your next meal, slowly, mindfully, remember what these 14 days revealed. Sometimes the greatest nourishment doesn't come from food, but from the space we give our bodies to rest, repair, and remember what true balance feels like. If this video opened your mind, don't let it stop here. Tell us in the comments, would you try skipping dinner for 14 days after hearing this story? Subscribe for more science-based stories like this one. Like if you learned something new, and share this video with someone who's ready to rediscover their body's hidden power.